So what's on deck for today?
O.K.I.
Who are they?
Don't know. Oh, O.K.I. That's not like some... Oh, that's funny. I wore my OU hat. Mm-hmm. Didn't even think. That's short for Oklahoma guy, and then O.K.I. So what they do is they source whiskey.
Are they based out of Oklahoma?
No.
Where are they then?
So I think they're in Kentucky. I could be wrong.
They're in Kentucky.
Okay, but they source their whiskey.
Morristown, to be precise.
Okay, they source their whiskey. The O stands for Ohio. Mm-hmm. The K stands for Kentucky. The I stands for Indiana. Okay, so now I just threw this down here just for shits and gigs.
Well,
so,
no way.
I don't. This is one of the first bottles that I ever bought.
From them or in general?
Yeah, no, this was in just period. So,
foundational bottle.
Yeah, so with a lot of their offerings, they'll source from all the different states. Mm-hmm. This one I just realized because I never looked. This was distilled 100%. It looks like in Lawrenceville. So this is MGP, but
you mean Lawrenceburg?
Lawrenceville. I don't know. I was thinking of Louisville. But like this one, this old O.K.I. Reserve. Here, look at the different types of
this one, which is a store pick from Specs, which is a Texas liquor store.
You look at that, and I'll talk about this, and then you'll have my answer.
Yes, sir.
So this was a store pick that I found last week. It's an age-stated 10-year double oak bourbon at cask strength. Mm-hmm. And cask strength for this is 122.8. So they say it's aged 5 years in first, your brand new charred oak barrels. Then another 5 years in secondary barrels. So you're getting, they can't put, that's why you can see it just says 10, it doesn't say 10 year.
Yeah.
Because they can't put an age statement like that because it
wasn't continuous.
Age statements are all about in the first barrel, mm-hmm. right? But I saw, 10 years total. This is 100% MGP, distilled by MGP in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
The very same.
Yep.
Much like this bottle.
Much like that, but those are interesting because it tells you the percentages and
the
whether it's a high rye and a low rye. And
like the first one is 21% rye.
Yep.
Next one's 36% rye.
Mm-hmm.
And 95.
95.5.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever rye corn whiskey is, there's 15% of that.
Oh, that's interesting. So when they came out, when I first started seeing them a few years ago, super interesting, just the play on what they're doing. We've talked about NDPs and if they're going to,
If they're going to survive the retraction of the whiskey industry, they'll have to do more interesting things.
Right. And like we just talked about in the prior video, right? We talked about short barrel.
Indeed, we did.
Wasn't there another one we talked about? I can't see behind me.
We talked about plenty.
Yeah. So there are people doing really cool stuff.
Yes.
This was one. We just did the short barrel double oak, which was at 117 proof? Something like
117.
That. So then that at the time, up until 2 weeks or a week ago, that was the highest double barrel product that we own in our mess of a whiskey collection.
And the old short barrel didn't hold the crown for very long because I believe this is sitting at 122.8.
122. So, for $50.
Look at that color.
And the store pick, we had to get it. Just had to. And I did have a pour, like literally the day after I bought it because, fat kid.
Judging by the nose, I can't blame you for that one. This does smell FKF, fat kid friendly.
Isn't that good, dude? That's so awesome. Yeah.
What is fat kid friendly? It's sugary. It's
sugary,
sweet.
Yeah. And sugar, that's the thing. Sugars and sugary and sweet aren't necessarily the same thing.
No.
So to really check all the boxes with fat kid friendly whiskey, it's got to be, you got to get that either that burnt creme brulee a burnt sugary note or a powdered sugar, but then you've got to have other sweet bits like sweet brown sugary or sweet oak, something like that. This checks all the boxes.
It's all of it. I always appreciate O.K.I. On the back of their batch one release, how forthright they are with where all their stuff comes from.
Correct.
For how long it's been in.
And as with some of the other bottles that we've talked about where they're less than forthright about what they're doing.
It's cool that how do I phrase that?
Well, this is the first double oak that I've seen from them.
Yes.
In a couple of years that I've been noticing their bottles.
I'm impressed that the juice was in a bottle for 5 years, and it was in the
secondary barrel for another 5.
Another 5. So that's impressive.
10 years total, because you have to remember that a lot of double barrel bourbons, whether it's like a Woodford Double Oak or an Old Forester,
they don't finish after very long.
Well, those two, they'll go anywhere from about a year and a half in secondary barrels, where like an Elijah Craig toasted, or I don't know about the barrel because we haven't talked about that yet, but they can be anywhere from 6 months up to a year. So I figure 6 months up to a year for most that are a little less toasted,
which makes sense for
a year to year and a half for the heavier toasted.
From an economic perspective, I mean, the longer you have to let it sit in the barrel, the longer it's not making money for the distillery. Meanwhile, this bottle's sitting pretty at, what'd you say, $50?
50-ish, yeah, 50-ish, 50, 52, somewhere around there with tax. But yeah, imagine like a Woodford Double Oak, if you've ever had it, like that deep and rich and fat, and then fatty, sweet stuff.
Amp it up because
of the proof. This is what I think like a Woodford, like the double oak that sells for between 150 and 200, and they prove it down to 94. This I think blow the doors off that.
The barrel char on this is very nice, and it's the additional depth provided by the proof that really makes it sing.
It's good. It's great.
Because it's sweet, but it's got a little more going on than just sweet and then it goes away.
Yeah.
It has layers, much like yourself.
Yeah. Toasted marshmallow. Good Lord. Brown sugar. Oh, barrel char. Oh, good gracious, this is good.
Marshmallows. Wow. That's quite impressive.
Wow. Yeah, that's good for them. I mean, really good for them. I mean, we've talked about this on and off camera before.
Many a time.
About double oaks, and I think at the time the Peerless was the highest at 108 or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, they need to start cranking this proof up. And
with short barrel and O.K.I. goes to show.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy knew something.
Right. Now, this is a spec store pick.
Yeah.
So, unless you live in the state of Texas, or you know somebody in Texas that can pick you up on, you're probably not going to be able to find that. However, if they're doing store picks in Texas,
they're probably doing store picks.
Elsewhere in another state. So, I guess the question is, if you like finished bourbons or double oak bourbons or toasted bourbons, and you see it out there, even if it's from a pick that...
I don't know. Should I buy it?
I would. I did, and I'm tempted to buy another one. And here's the thing: as much as I love the short barrel, this is $25 less.
Mm-hmm. No, granted.
At a higher proof.
Granted, is short barrel also sourcing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, they source as well.
Interesting. So I wonder where the difference in price comes from. Is it because the short barrel is aged for long?
Well, I think I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's aged less, which you would think it would cost less, but it costs more. However, I think O.K.I. is a bigger distillery, where short barrel is more of a craft distillery.
Yeah.
So just their operating costs.
Are much higher.
This is something that just goes for all whiskey. Legacy distilleries and bigger distilleries, they keep their costs down because of how much product they pump out.
Mm-hmm. They have the volume.
Right. So when you have a craft distillery,
like the World Whiskey Society out of Oklahoma, or Short Barrel, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the World Whiskey Society, that's not out of Oklahoma, but that's the barrel that
they got it from.
Oklahoma. Yeah, so their operating costs are just higher.
Yes, because they don't have
the volume. Don't have the volume.
Like Jack Daniels, for example.
Correct. You can take a barrel proof rye, a single barrel proof rye, and that, at least down here, sits on the shelf at 60 to 65.
And that's because Jack Daniels sells 1 billion gallons.
Correct.
Of Jack Daniels
the lowest proofs on those are in the 120s. The better proofs are in the 130s.
Indeed.
So, and it's consistent every single time. So like when you get into the crafty world, things get a little different. They do get a little pricier, which I'm willing to support. You know, the craft guys, especially when they're doing it well.
Indeed, like Short Barrel.
Like Short Barrel, they do a great job. Even Last Motel.
Last Motel's
paying for their prices, you know, which isn't crazy, but, you know, but I'll pay if you're doing a good job. Horse Soldier will pay for, I mean, Frey Ranch will pay for, Smoke Wagon, Penelope, like all that stuff I'll pay up for it just because it is from a craft distillery.
You get that a lot in Texas as well,
distillery.
from the smaller Texas distilleries or even the big Texas distilleries, just because they don't pump out as much product as the legacies.
Yeah, the legacy guys. I mean, and it's hard to understand.
It's hard to fathom because it's such a unquantifiable amount of liquid.
Yeah, when you have a distillery that has 1 million or 2 barrels, 53-gallon barrels. And they got 1 million or 2 of them.
And they'll get out of bed for less than that.
Aging, it's crazy, right? It's like when you're making food and you've only made food for parties of 30 or parties of 40 people are coming, 50 people are coming to your baby shower. And that's all you make food for. And somebody's like, hey, can you make food for 8 people? I'm like, I don't even know what that means, right? It's difficult. So getting back to these guys, I did sell a couple of these bottles to people. These are going to be more for whiskey curious or whiskey nerd kind of people, especially like with these other offerings where you've got low rye bourbon, high rye bourbon, 95.5 rye whiskey, rye corn whiskey, light whiskey.
Generally speaking,
even the light whiskey, is that 10 years or 16 years on the light whiskey?
10.
10? Yeah.
Another point.
This is batch 1, by the way.
That's what I mentioned. Don't worry.
Okay.
To your point, any distillery that is, pretty transparent about where they get the juice from, and they start listing all like this stuff on here, that's going to be more for the dorks of the
for the whiskey dorks, like
for the enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Because like Jack Daniel's No. 7 doesn't have that kind of info on it.
None of the Jack Daniel's does.
Not necessary.
Well, most bottles in our collection
don't have a lot of
don't go into the detail that O.K.I. does.
O.K.I. or Penelope or Red Holiday. It's a very niche thing, but I really appreciate it whenever I appreciate whenever a distillery just lists out the stats for dorks.
Yeah, and even in some like other bourbon like YouTube stuff that I watch, even some of the people now, instead of just talking about MGP, like, oh, they get it from MGP, they're just kind of bypass that and they go like, oh, it's a 26 rye. Because when you start really getting into the weeds and you know who makes, what do you say the high rye was on this? 30%?
It was 36.
36.
Very precise number. You can probably figure out who that
you can figure out who's distilling it at that point.
Or like how we deduced where the juice in that World Whiskey Society bottle came from.
Sure, yeah. I just kind of did a quick search. And
fun fact, that Sir Davis, the celebrity whiskey.
Yeah.
We spent 45 minutes trying to figure out where that came from.
Yeah.
Probably would have been easier if we actually owned a bottle, but I don't know.
I'm not paying $100 for that.
I don't have that kind of money.
No, that's just nonsensical.
I do have that kind of money, I just don't want to spend it.
Yeah. No, I'm just not going to buy it. So I saw the other day they were talking, a couple people I was watching on the YouTubes were talking about the Traveler whiskey.
Oh yeah.
The Buffalo Trace stuff.
From just the Stapleton collaboration.
Yeah. But now they have a foolproof version.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just say the review was not good.
It was not impressive.
And I'm like, at least you all bought it. Like, I wouldn't even buy it because I know what's in it.
Yeah, that'd be the worst video ever. We should do that. We should do that where we do speculating what the Traveler whiskey foolproof tastes like.
Yeah, I won't even spend $35 or whatever it is.
That's what I'm just gonna imagine it.
Yeah. But anyway, so if you've seen it around, just know this is going to be a little more nerdy whiskey.
Mm-hmm. But it is, as far as dork whiskey is concerned, this is very approachable. I mean, it's high proof, but it's sweet. It's dark. It's pleasant. I mean,
yeah. So I think I said it earlier. So if you've ever played around with the double oaked or the toasted world, you know, and you've had them before and you're like, man, they're good. They're just so sweet. I wonder what it would taste like at a higher proof, right? And the Peerless is impossible to find. Short barrel's not in everybody's market yet. O.K.I is getting better. It's getting around. So if you can find something like this and you've always wondered, you know, you've been at the Costco or you've been at a store where they've got the Woodford double oak for $200 and you're like, do I really want to try it for $200? And then you look at the proof and you're like, oh shit, it's still at 94 proof. I'm sure it's good, but is it $200 good? Well, if you can find an offering like this,
at a staggering $50.
Literally $50. I think it was $49.99. That was before the discounts and stuff.
Sure. But this is phenomenal. Very impressive. I'm not going to make a judgment call whether this or the short barrel is better. I think they're both good.
Yeah,
this is definitely darker. This is a darker flavor profile. I remember the short barrel being a little brighter.
The proof could have something to do with that.
Certainly.
1. 2, this says on the label, unless they're lying to us, this was aged in a secondary barrel for 5 full years.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you think about Trail's End, because we did videos about them, and they double barrel theirs for a total of 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
This sat in barrels for 5 years. That's crazy.
And it's at a high proof. Very much credit is deserved to the blenders at O.K.I for making that work.
Yeah, they did a hell of a job.
Because this could have tasted like biting into a tree very easily.
Yeah, for sure. Especially at the proof, right? So, anyway, hope you all learned something about O.K.I. If you see it and you're interested in it, pick it up. They're not sponsoring us.
Buy it now. I like what they're doing.
They can sponsor us if they want.
Maybe.
I'm not going to argue.
Please.
As long as you just keep doing more of this stuff.
Please.